What's up everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon X and Pokemon Y Wi-Fi battle. So this is a battle against David, aka SensationalGP, and it turned out to be a really good one in my opinion. So we had a set of battles going on and it was best 2 out of 3, and this battle right here is actually the third battle, which means he won one and I won one. So David actually won the first battle because I completely got annihilated by his Kangaskhan. And I was trying to troll him with my Greninja, trying to go for Shadow Sneak on his Kangaskhan, just because I knew he would use Power Up Punch, just trying to get him angry. And he goes for the Sucker Punch when I try using U-Turn and getting out of there, and then he sets up the Power Up Punch and just punches each of my Pokemon, Kangaskhan. That's it. Just Kangaskhan. But in the second battle, I decided to kick out Greninja and bring in Blaziken, and I switched out a few other Pokemon, and he completely fears the Mega Blaziken. So when I set up one Swords Dance, I was able to just go through his team, and before you knew it, his team was gone. So this was the battle that was supposed to set the score. And we used the same teams from the second battle, so we knew each other's strategies, and we knew exactly what the opponent was going to do, at least I did. And we'll get to that later, but for his lead, I assumed he would start off with either Dragonite or Greninja, because Dragonite can set up and start sweeping because this guy means business. Or he could have let out with Greninja, who could have used Protean to destroy my team because he gets stabbed on every single one of his attacks. So Greninja was obviously an option for him as well, but I lead with Hydreigon because he's the second best defensive lead on my team, and I was completely wrong. He leads with this Gyarados, and this wasn't too much of a problem. I was fearing the Ice Fang, but I go for the Dark Pulse to get his HP down a little bit just so I can go for the Draco Meteor, and he sets up a Dragon Dance. I'm scared. I'm fearing the Ice Fang, but I go for the Draco Meteor, and he thought I was going to go for another Dark Pulse, so he sets up one more Dragon Dance, and that was the mistake there. If he went for the Ice Fang, because he does outspeed me now, and he would have been able to take me out, so I go for the Draco Meteor now. It's just enough to take him out, and the funny thing, well, it's not too funny, but my Hydreigon has Wide Lens and Fire Blast and Draco Meteor as its combination, because Wide Lens would be able to increase his accuracy by 10%. So Draco Meteor has a 99% accuracy pretty much, so it almost always hits. I've never seen it miss so far in this setup. So that's going to be his Gyarados. So now he has his Greninja out. I'm fearing the Ice Beam, so I go into my wall, Ferrothorn, and he's going to go for the Ice Beam, and I'm going to eat it up. So on the next turn, I'm thinking either Stealth Rocks or Toxic, but knowing that I'm going to use Toxic, he probably would have switched out into Scizor, so I actually go for the Stealth Rocks first, and he goes into Kangaskhan, which would have been a big problem if I Toxic'd it. But unfortunately, I didn't, but I do get my Rocks up, which is going to break Dragonite's Multiscale, so that's going to be a good thing. So now he's going to Mega Evolve and obviously go for the Power Punch, and in this turn, I'm actually going for the Toxic. And you have to see how much this Power Punch does. He does get the crit on the first one, and I mean, he has enough attack to kill me in one more hit if he goes for the Power Punch next turn, which he obviously is going to do, because why not? If it's going to kill me, he might as well go for it and get another attack boost. So he's actually able to set up while destroying my Ferrothorn, but I'm slowly able to look at a positive side because of my Iron Barbs. And would have helped a lot if I had Rocky Helmet, but I ran out of battle points, even though I had like 400 like 2 days ago. But I'm able to Toxic him, which is going to help me a lot later on. And that's going to be pretty much Ferrothorn. He's going to be able to go for one more Power Punch. And I guess I'm kind of lucky that he killed me in one more Power Punch, because he only got another +1 attack. But if he did hit me twice, he would have been down to yellow. So I guess it would have been better if he hit me twice, but whatever. He's got my Ferrothorn down, so now it's 5v5, and the best counter, like I mentioned before, to his Kangaskhan is my own Mega Blaziken. So I'm gonna go and send out Blaziken, and he actually has Blaze. I overlooked that. I thought he had Speed Boost as his normal ability, but it doesn't matter because Mega Blaziken is way better than Blaziken in all of his stats, I think. So I'm gonna evolve into Mega Blaziken, or Mega Evolve I should say, and I'm gonna go for the Protect to scout what he's gonna use and to increase my speed, because I knew that he'd be able to outspeed me on the first turn, and that's why he actually went for the Earthquake, which would have killed me easily, especially with +3 and double hit. But he goes for the Sucker Punch, which was extremely smart on his part, because it's going to bring me down to 75, well, not bring me down to 75, it's going to do 75%, and I'm going to be left at about 25%, and I go for the High Jump Kick. If I went for the Flare Blitz, it would have been really bad, because I would have been in the red, probably. But that's going to take out his Kangaskhan, so my Blaziken's pretty much dead. Any priority attacker should be able to kill it, but the last thing I expected was a Bullet Punch to do anything to me, so he's going to send out his Scizor. I was going to go for the Protect, but it's completely useless. I don't have leftovers or anything. And he probably could have set up a Sword Stance, which would have been really bad. So I went for the Flare Blitz. And even if I killed him, I would have went down with him. But he kills me with the Bullet Punch. I didn't think he would have. I thought it would have lived with like 5 HP or something because I resisted it. But then again, Blaziken has bad defense. So I bring out my Hydreigon and go for the Fire Blast, which was an obvious move. He should have switched out into Dragonite or maybe Greninja or someone who could have taken it, probably Dragonite. But he didn't, and he just lost this Scizor, which would have been able to take out both my Trevenant and my Tyranitar easily if he just set up one Sword Stance. So anyways, he sends out his Greninja, and he's able to take me out with an Ice Beam. The Stab, Protean, Ice Beam, it's too much, so there goes my Hydreigon. So now it's 3v3. I'm going to send up my Starmie, and I know my Starmie can take a Stab, Night Slash. He can take it from a Weavile. He took it from a Weavile once, so I knew he'd be able to take this. Especially considering he had both special attacks and physical attacks. And he probably maxed out speed, so he probably had to distribute a half and half to attack and special attack. So I knew his Greninja wouldn't be able to take me out. So I go for the Thunderbolt, and when he's going to go for Night Slash again, I switch out into Tyra Banks. So Tyra Banks is going to be able to take this Night Slash really well. And I'm going to be able to go for the Crunch, and obviously Tyranitar is bulky as heck, so I'm going to be able to take a Surf, and I can't believe he got a crit there. If he actually got a crit on my Starmie, he would have been able to win the game later on, and you'll see that in a bit. So anyways, he goes for Surf, trying to take me out before he dies, because he knows he's going to die, but I live with 54 HP. I'm not even in the red. So I go for the Crunch and destroy him because he's not part Dark. Even if he was, he would have died, because Tyranitar, he's level 50, and he has 204 attack, which is just amazing. So he sends out Malamar, and I thought I'd be able to outspeed him, even though I knew he was going to go for Superpower. I mean, every Malamar runs Superpower because of Contrary. But he actually outspeeds me because I was looking at, well, I was thinking of Mega Tyranitar speed, and Mega Tyranitar is only 4 less than Calamari speed. Did I just call you Calamari? Jeez. But anyways, he's going to be able to take out my Tyranitar. I can't believe I didn't know my own Tyranitar. But I'm going to go out into Starmie, and I'm going to go for Dazzling Gleam, which is the only super effective move other than Bug on a Malamar. So that's going to take him out, because Malamar has terrible, terrible special defense. I mean, not terrible, but it's bad. Just bad. You can't touch him. He just dies if you touch him. So the Life Orb and the Sandstorm is going to be able to kill my Starmie, and now it's 1v1. I'm doing it again, 1v1. And Trevenant, you've seen Trevenant in the last video. Trevenant's able to take on any opponent, even this Dragonite. Look at the comparison. A tree and a dragon. So he goes for the Earthquake, a really, really, really bad move on his part. He could have easily done, I don't know, maybe got me burnt with a Fire Punch, or even went for the Dragon Dance. Both of them would have been bad for me. But I go for the Curse because I mean business. I want to take this guy out, and there's nothing I can do. So I rely on Trevenant's Harvest ability here. So I go for the Curse, and I get 25% of my HP back. So now I'm back to green. So now Dragonite has 4 turns to kill me, and I have to live for 4 turns. So now it's just a matter of surviving his attack. So he, again, another stupid move, although it's kind of linked to his other move. He goes for the Dragon Dance, and I'm able to set up a substitute. And this substitute, one substitute is all I needed, because each time he breaks my sub, on the same turn, I'm going to go for a substitute, and I'm just going to replenish my sub. And my Harvest ability is going to increase my HP all the way back to green. So there's nothing this Dragonite could have done. If he went for the Dragon Dance on the first turn, he would have been able to take out this Trevenant. But my Trevenant, as you can see right now, he's going to go for the Fire Punch. And at this exact same turn, just as he breaks my sub, even with a critical hit, Trevenant substitute faded, Trevenant used substitute. So there's nothing he can do. And I'm going to be able to take out this Dragonite. And I'm so amused by this Needle, I don't even know why. But he lives with like 5 HP here. And honestly, anything I do in this turn is going to kill him. So that's the end of his Dragonite, and it's really cool to see how far Trevenant can go. I mean, you can set up this Trevenant with any Pokemon. The Curse will kill them in 4 turns, and you just have to survive for 4 turns, and the Harvest helps, and then if you set up the Leech Seed on top of that, you can use Substitute at least 4 times, even if the Harvest doesn't work. So it's a really, really good combination. Trevenant is way too much. But yeah, Trevenant can be used as a very strategic Pokemon, and I mean, his only weakness is a Pokemon with Magic Guard or Magic Bounce, and a Pokemon that has the ability Skill Link and a multi-hitting move. But nobody brings those Pokemon except like Alakazam and everything. But I mean, Trevenant's just one Pokemon. You can take him down, sure. I've got 5 more, so yeah, Trevenant. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, and I'm actually curious what you guys think the biggest flaw in David's battling here is. So if you think you know what the biggest flaw is, then be sure to leave it in the comments. I always read a bunch of comments every day. But anyways, I will see you guys later.